Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Adrian Montgomery with ERP VAR. I am so happy that a leading Acumatica VAR is joining us today, Nancy Phillippi with Clients First Business Solutions. And she's going to walk us through some of the things that she's implemented over there to help her grow Clients First ERP software practice. And one of those things is focusing on industry niches, and we're going to use the Pro MRO as our example. So we're going to talk about how we can walk through her shoes using the vertical of Pro MRO. So thank you so much, Nancy, for joining us. A little bit about myself. I have a lot of experience in the ERP software industry, about 20 years. I started off as a district sales manager over at Click Software, focusing on field service automation, and that solution was acquired by Salesforce. And I spent 5 years as a partner account manager and marketing account manager over at Sage Software, working with partners, over 200 partners in the Sage channel. And then also worked at a small growing VAR for Sage Software after that. And I've been doing ERP VAR for 11 years, working with channel partners and helping them grow their business. We're HubSpot inbound marketing certified. We implement, support, train partners, VARs. We focus on VARs and ISVs of the different ERP solutions, and helping them grow with their HubSpot inbound marketing system. And I'm going to go ahead and let Nancy talk a little bit about herself. Thank you so much, Nancy, for joining us.
Hi, I think I need to get an updated picture. I don't look like that anymore. I just had a big birthday. Anyway, my name is Nancy Phillippi, and I've been in the industry for I guess about 23 years, and I have sold, Epicor, Sage, primarily Microsoft Dynamics, and Acumatica for the last 6 years. So Clients First is a finance and supply chain partner, Dynamics, Microsoft Dynamics Gold partner, and then we are also an Acumatica Gold partner, and we've written ISP for Acumatica, Pro MRO, and Pro NPO. And I do sales and for all the product lines, and I also lead the marketing department for Texas and Minnesota offices.
Perfect. And then, so as I said, we're going to focus our presentation today on the Pro MRO software solution that Clients First has integrated with Acumatica. So Nancy, can you tell us a little bit about how Pro MRO addresses the pain of your ideal customer for the MRO industry?
Well, it's kind of a long story on how we got into Pro MRO, but at a high level, we work with aviation and heavy equipment maintenance, repair, and overhaul firms. And we have a lot of experience in that industry, and we saw a gap in the small to mid-market for a decent MRO software solution. And since Acumatica is so developer friendly, and our managing directors absolutely loved the software and how easy it is to develop IP, that we chose Acumatica as a solution to write our Pro MRO product. We had it previously with the Dynamics AX solution, and that's enterprise. So we needed something for the small to mid-market. And really, it's just the systems that are out there now are very old. And as I talk to prospects and, listen to their needs and look at the competitive products, you can see that the technology was very old, and the products, and was very limited in functionality. Some of them didn't have finance modules, just a variety of holes within the competition that we were able to address. So it's very niche focused. It's very niche focused.
And you were able to implement MRO, the needs of an MRO customer on top of Acumatica, because you said it was very open in nature, and that's one of the reasons why you added Acumatica to your ERP portfolio, because it fit what you were looking to do with MRO, but also in a couple other industries as well that might not be as much of a focus as MRO, but that's why you selected Acumatica.
Right. The not-for-profit, we have something for that market. I don't know as much about that, but the manufacturing is very robust, and the projects module, our ProMRO is written around the projects module, and so we have a lot of enhancements that can just be, you don't have to have the ProMRO module to have these add-on products. And we've written some stuff for manufacturing, we've written some stuff for catalog, and so the nice thing about the Acumatica product line is it is very flexible. You can have a really horizontal, it's a horizontal product, but you can easily dig into some deep verticals, especially now with the functionality that's available. In addition, the field services module is absolutely, I love it. It's just outstanding. So we're actually branching out a bit into the field services industry as well. We have a lunch and learn coming up tomorrow, as a matter of fact, for field service.
I'm looking forward to that. So if you are looking to add an ERP to your portfolio, we recommend that you visit the Acumatica website in the success stories section and see to what degree those success stories might line up with your core competencies where you've really had success. And Acumatica has such great content when it comes to these vertical industries out on their website, so you can kind of walk back your marketing plan just by looking at the success stories and developing content around that.
Well, and just to add a note here, we had previous experience with this industry with our other, the Dynamics product line. And I know of another very successful partner, IIG. They were a Sage reseller. They may still be, I'm not sure, but they also have brought over a lot of their IP that they had for Sage over to Acumatica. So, they're keeping their competency going, their expertise in their previous product lines as well, like we have.
And there's so many of those kinds of stories about partners doing that.
Yeah.
So this is what we have done and what you have done through the years, Nancy, but you hired us to help you with these different events that you're you are part of, the MRO week and aviation week, and so those are all part of the MRO industry. And you also have exhibited for years now, a few years now, I think, in these types of events. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I know that this year they're virtual.
Well, yes. We've done MRO Americas, which is one of the largest aviation trade show there is, and maybe one of the largest, period, trade show events. Everything was pretty much canceled this year, but we do attend a lot of trade shows. Now, with that said, and are you going to talk a little bit more, Adrian, though, about the Acumatica ramp-up plan that they do for their partners?
Yeah, if we can, a little bit. Acumatica has done a fantastic job of creating this partner portal where there's a plethora of content for partners to dig into, and they do have a marketing plan template that they provide to their partners. And I know that Acumatica recommends focusing on vertical industries and gaining your core competencies so that you can differentiate yourself as a channel partner in those vertical industries.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we started with, and that's why I brought it up, because, you know, it's difficult to start from scratch on materials for your specific industry. And Acumatica has a plethora of white papers, and we've taken many of those, for example, for field service and for manufacturing, and, you know, white papers that you can have call to actions on your website or email to your prospects. And we we have the Adobe Premier Edition, I don't know what it's called, Creative Cloud. And so I'm able to take a lot of those white paper PDFs and brochures and put our logo on them and kind of repurpose for some of our targeted industries that we work with. And so they've been extremely helpful in providing fact sheets, white papers, case studies, everything, email campaigns and everything. And that's kind of helped us get a jump start on a lot of our marketing activities, including even videos and whatnot on our website. So yes, we have done quite a bit of trade shows. We've done email campaigns, and we have used a lot of the Acumatica templates for that. With the Pro MRO, you know, we've just used our industry experience to create those types of marketing materials and activities.
So one of the things that you've done is develop this entire website around Pro MRO. And so this website only speaks to Pro MRO, but you also have your main website. So you've created all this material for your target customer so that when you are doing your email marketing, it comes back for Pro MRO. It comes back, everything is linked back to this website. So you keep up that consistency and look and feel for MRO so that customer can stay in the conversation as it applies to their specific needs. So I wanted to point out that, you know, you did take the time to create this entire focused website on the Pro MRO.
We tried to pick some of Acumatica's colors too, and our logo. We've used their colors, you know, their specific RGB and CMYK color schemes in our logo, and then some of our documents, and whatnot, fact sheets. That's what I'm trying to say.
And then we also created press releases focused on announcing your exhibitor sponsorship at MRO Americas. And this is a great opportunity for search engine optimization. Aside from just the press release, you also get indexed in the search engine for your keyword terms. And you want to focus on MRO software. So everything we're doing for Pro MRO, we're having the root keyword in their MRO software, and that you're announcing your exhibitor sponsorship at MRO Americas. But this goes out to a ton of press release outlets that pick up your press release, and that now you have an inbound link back to your Pro MRO website for MRO software. So when people are searching for MRO functionality, the root keyword is MRO software. You might not be number one in the search engines for this root keyword, but the surrounding keywords will be picked up and you'll get traction for that. And then you've also done these videos that you publish on Wistia, but you also publish on your YouTube channel for Pro MRO software. So that also helps with search engine optimization as well. So you have your keywords in the videos, and those also get indexed in the search engines as well. Right. I wanted to touch on that.
And we partnered with, one of the things to roll out IP is, we saw the need, and then we also did research and talked to other vendors that also support MRO companies. And, we discovered that these parts catalogs are super important to not only people that do repair of aviation equipment, but they also, there's a lot of distributors that just distribute aviation parts. And so now we're also able to go after the distributors of parts with our parts-based integration. A lot of the MROs too, they also will buy parts through parts-based or one of the vendors that actually is a member of the parts-based community. So they can go out there and search for any part and know that, it's probably FAA approved and they have the proper documentation, etc. So that was another target for us we were able to do just with discussing, relationships with additional vendors that support that particular niche market.
And then you use your HubSpot inbound marketing system to measure the results of each individual piece of content that you promote out there. You're able to see how, things are working and not working, so you can hone in on what's working.
Right. Right. And we have worked also with a couple of partners, and we've had a great relationship with the partner community. It is different than probably any other partner community I've worked with. And honestly, Acumatica is probably the best software vendor that I've ever worked for or worked with. They are flexible. They're amazing. They have a partner account manager that's always there to answer your questions. We also work with Microsoft, which, Microsoft has some great products, but they are absolutely horrendous to work with or to get an answer on. So, that partner community that we have is very supportive, and they're very easy to work with. They're not, you're not worried about another partner trying to steal your customers, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And Acumatica also keeps a very level playing field there as well. You need to register your leads. So to make sure that they're, your leads, but, they're a great partner to work with. Sorry, I digress there a little bit, but.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, that's a perfect segue. So Acumatica relies on the partner community heavily to do their marketing because they only sell Acumatica through the partner channel. So they want to make sure that they have a developed marketing plan like yourself, Nancy, so that, you're out there getting the word out about Acumatica. But every now and then, I'm sure they send you an opportunity. But that's not the one reason to sign up with them, right? You want to develop your niche and your expertise and your marketing plan, and make sure that you're bringing your own opportunities in and not just relying on Acumatica. And that's where absolutely. This comes in.
Right.
So you're participating in trade shows and events, the trade association websites, the Twitter hashtags, the LinkedIn groups, and the pain. So you can speak to that audience and they'll be receptive to your message because you know them so well. You walk in their shoes and you get the content in front of them. And then hopefully when it's time to make a change, they reach out to you.
Right. And, you can't pretend like you know what you're talking about. It's really best to work with something, even if it's a horizontal like distribution. There's it's best to work within those industries or take those opportunities that are really a fit for your expertise. I mean, we get some opportunities that we just say, I'm sorry, that's, we can't, we give them a referral, or we talk to, someone else, another Acumatica partner or whatnot, to work with the customer if we don't feel like we have the expertise to do the job or the bandwidth.
That's smart. And then, so here's a few ways that we've been able to help you and that clients versus help themselves index in the search engines for their different pieces of content. You can see here, this is Google, for instance. So they have all their search return results here, and that if you put in Pro MRO, this is what I got incognito yesterday. But MRO software would be their root keyword that we're going for and trying to index for. But this just gives you an example of how the content, if you're focused on building content out for a vertical, you want to get indexed in the search engines. That's kind of the end goal. So all of your content will have your keywords in the title, in the meta description. All of your blogs that you write, you want to have in the meta description and the keyword, your videos, and then your press releases, because and then also your alt tags and your images. And if you don't start out with a root keyword, then you don't know what you're doing. You're kind of all over the place. So you want to make sure you hone in and focus on that root keyword. And that's what Nancy's hired us to help them with, is make sure they're honing in on that MRO software root keyword and building topic pillars out, focusing on that root keyword, and then making sure our content makes sense, incorporating that keyword term. And so if you look at Google, this is how they index their content. So you want to make sure all your videos has the root keyword, your news releases, and then you'll naturally start to index for the root keyword and subsets of the root keyword in the search engines. So that kind of happens in the background, but you want to make sure you're doing it with, in building your content, so that when customers have problems related to that root keyword, they can come to the search engines and they can find you. So here's a couple. This is a example of how we've used this is HubSpot. This is a dashboard in HubSpot of the social media sharing that we've done. And you can see here, this is a blog that was written, and we have MRO software in the blog title, MRO software in a hashtag. Partspace is a big participant in MRO software. They're, as Nancy described earlier, they are a solution that integrates with Pro MRO, and they have a wide presence in the MRO industry. So you have a conversation about Partspace, and you get in that conversation, and this is Twitter, for instance, and then you also mention Aviation Week MRO, and then the hashtag for that MRO industry. So if she wasn't focusing on an industry, it'd be harder to get in the conversation as it applies in social media.
It's hard enough as it is. I mean, it's difficult as it is. To me, those clicks and interactions look rather low, but we just kind of started out with the Partspace integration around March, April. So hopefully those numbers will start increasing.
Yes.
We also had a Partspace show or trade show that we were going to do, and that got canceled as well. So I think that somewhat has affected, some of our results as far as the trade associations and the conferences. There's just not as much interest in, oh my goodness, who's going to be there and what are we doing at the show and that sort of thing. So sign of the times.
Yeah, it's just a different kind of time now, but everything will come back to normal hopefully soon. So also you could hold lunch and learns, like Nancy mentioned. Tomorrow they're having a field service lunch and learn, and Acumatica has a great program around lunch and learns. Well, where they will sponsor a $35 Grubhub voucher along with Clients First, where they hold these industry-focused lunch and learns and invite prospects and customers. Tomorrow's is about field service, but you could also do this about MRO software, and you invite your target market to that webinar. And I think we have quite a few registered for tomorrow, Nancy, so excited to see the results on that.
This is our second or third lunch and learn that we've done, and Acumatica, you know, you send them the list of your registrants like the night before or day before, and all of them get a $35 Grubhub certificate so they can order lunch. And Acumatica has a ton of material on their website as well to help support these lunch and learns. They provide a lot of helpful information to help you launch just about anything that you want to, webinars or the lunch and learns. We've had a lot of success with the lunch and learns.
Yeah, it just seems to push the audience over the edge to actually register and come because of the lunch, you know, and I think they're just appreciative that they get that. And so,
we thought we were going to just get a bunch of people that wanted to eat a free lunch. You know, there's always some naysayer in the company who thinks that they're just going to want a free lunch, but we've actually had a lot of people very interested, and there are some people that are out of the area and they can't get Grubhub, and they still show up, and they still, you know, we're still talking to them. So it really helps just to have that extra.
Oh yeah, it makes such a difference.
Yeah, it really does, even if they don't eat it.
So you could have your first lunch and learn, you know, talking about the problems that your solution solves for in that particular industry. But then you could have a follow-up lunch and learn where you invite a customer to talk about their experience with Acumatica. And I know you also have a famous customer, Nancy. It might not be such a field service customer, but power storage that Acumatica has really leveraged. So having somebody like that really tout the solution, it takes it to the next level.
Right. Power Storage Solution has been a great customer of ours. They were the Acumatica 2019 Customer of the Year, and was on the stage with I forgot his name, John Roskell. And, right. And our managing director, Michael Conti, at the Acumatica Summit. And he's done a case study with us. He did that before he was awarded Customer of the Year. And just a fantastic company, a fantastic individual, Derek Elledge. And yes, we were really pleased that he was named Customer of the Year. And so he's available when, you know, if we need a reference or for someone to, you know, call or attend a lunch and learn and talk a little bit about his experiences. So anything that you can leverage like that, even if you have a customer that's on another product line that could just talk about your experience, your expertise, because sometimes it's really difficult when you're a brand new partner, you know, and people say, well, where's your reference? Do you have a reference? And you're always like, well, we haven't done any yet. And it can be a tough road. But I have found that if I'm just extremely honest with the customer and talk to them about, you know, our experience, and Acumatica has a lot of certifications that your consultants have to go through, and it's that usually overcomes any objections that we've had, and we were able to pick up new customers fairly easy. It's the easiest software I've ever sold.
And it's right in that sweet spot too. You know, it's not too expensive. And it fits for a lot of customers.
Right.
So Also, inviting expert speakers to events might compel more registrants. So, for example, if you're into revenue recognition, if you're focusing on that as a vertical SaaS model type customers, then you might want to have a revenue recognition expert speak at your lunch and learn. Or if you're in medical practice management, maybe a HIPAA speaker. Or if you're in food manufacturing, maybe you want to have a lot serial tracking type expert. So being in these vertical industries, you learn, the different experts, and you can invite them to speak at your events, and it compels the registrant to come and attend the event and learn from an educational standpoint how to better function with all these different attributes that you can implement in the software. So it's a nice little transition to compel people to actually register for your events in addition to the free lunch. And so, an example for MRO would be that part space expert that Nancy has met at the different events throughout the years. And the part space is a add-on solution for the MRO industry that Acumatica and Pro MRO nicely fit into. So it would be great to have a part space expert speak at the event.
That's true. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So you want to be finding those websites that you can participate on, the different forums for the industry, and getting those links back from your blog posts on those blogs. I know that, thank you so much, Nancy, you participate with us at ERP VAR, but you also participate with the ERP software blog, and that is highly authoritative, and getting your blog posts about Dynamics on that website helps you with your Dynamics related keywords.
Right.
And then with Acumatica on ERP VAR. So it's finding those one-to-many community style websites that you can participate in and post those expert content there, so you draw that audience back to your vertical content. And you can mention those strategic industry partners, and they can have conversations with you about that in social media. Did you have something to add there, Nancy?
I've talked enough.
And then also having your success stories too that you can tout on those one-to-many community style websites, where you can talk about how you've helped a customer with a problem they were trying to solve, and then you link those keywords back to your main industry page on your website, and that boosts your search engine optimization while you're in front of more of your target market. And then hopefully they will convert on a form where you have a call to action tied to the page that you're linking back from on those websites. And then, so I wondered, Nancy, you talked a little bit about your PAM, but how you already, really touched on a lot of these points. So your PAM is your advocate, and your PAM works with a lot of partners, and so they can also share that expertise that they've learned from the partners and pass that along to you, and then, pass things on that are working from a marketing standpoint, and also help you understand what kinds of topics are working with Acumatica in general, right, and provide those recommendations and leverage tools. So could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, we also have a weekly sales, I can't remember the exact topic, but every week they do like a sales, pre-sales webinar, and they kind of show like a different way to demonstrate the product, or different approach to take. And then our PAM, we get a weekly update from him that has like the top questions for the week. He has a whole list of webinars that are coming up that you can, tell your prospects or customers about. And there's something called a PID, or your partner identifier. And we use that a lot. And whenever we're going to link somebody back to the Acumatica website, we put our PID in the URL. So be sure to ask about that. And that way, if someone goes back to the Acumatica site, they know that this person came from you. And so any form fills or anything like that will be referred back to you. It also, I'm sure it makes the marketing team happy when they see, your partner identifier getting a lot of links back to their website. So even when we send out an email, we put our PID if we're pointing them toward the Acumatica website. So, and again, on the marketing side, there is a ton of information. There's a whole marketing toolkit that can be used that has a lot of links to different resources to use. Pretty much I've done sales and marketing for many years, and it's not easy to wear both hats. So, any type of resources that are available are greatly appreciated, because it's really hard just to recreate the wheel, and Acumatica does a fantastic job with that. And that's rare that I have found with partners. The PAM is their partner account manager. I mean, I'm really close with the guy. We talk every week. If I have like a struggle with a prospect, I mean, I've been doing this many years, but I still have a lot to learn sometimes on how to deal with people in different personalities or different situations. And he's been a fantastic resource to run ideas by. Even our marketing plan for the year, I review that with him as well, and he gives suggestions. They're just a really good resource. Typically, from our experience, the PAM, we've had 2 since we've been a partner for about 5 years, 6 years, and they have a lot of experience, a deep sales experience, and I know in our case a lot of marketing experience as well. So I have one more thing. We have another customer that is already a customer, but they have a lot of questions about security, and we sent them all the security documentation and everything. However, we're getting like the VP of product that's going to actually have a conference call with them to address their questions. Even, they're already a customer, but they really take the time to be very customer centric. And, through COVID, we've had a couple of customers that have struggled, and Acumatica was there to support us. We ate some time, we ate some time, I should say, and money. And Acumatica helped us out as well. So they're just a great all-around partner to work with. I've never been happier with a partner, honestly.
That's great to hear. Okay, so they helped you with, when you came on board, I'm sure, with some website recommendations and fixes. Yes. They had a partner marketing team, I think, that was really big on helping you with recommendations and fixes. So they do have a lot of expertise when it comes to that. And describing your business. You can also hire us to help you with that. And list and outbound email tips. And incorporating video. That's one of the things on the partner portal that they recommend. And then, common issues and questions they'll help you out with and just get you onboarded and point you in the right direction for resources and further training for whatever it is that you're looking to do with Acumatica.
Yeah, the marketing toolkit has a lot of things that you can go through yourself for your website. And then, you know, they have a whole onboarding process that they go through. Our Minnesota office just finished up, and they're already a gold partner, just due to following through on their onboarding process. So there's a few tips and tricks, though, as far as incorporating any of the Acumatica videos on your website. So I'd be happy to help you with that if anybody has any questions on how to do that, because they do.
You've been amazing at that.
Well, they do keep things, you know, like some of the videos you can't share. You know, you have a difficult time sharing, but I've learned a few workarounds. Don't tell Acumatica. So anyway,
it's our secret.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple areas that you could start if you're thinking about launching or accelerating your practice and adding an industry focus. So again, just exploring Acumatica's capability to serve that industry focus. And how do you differentiate? How does your knowledge help you differentiate yourself from the competition? Because that's really how you stand out. You know, if you're trying to talk to everybody, you don't really talk to anyone. So if you hone in on your expertise, like Clients First has with the Pro MRO, it really helps you stand out, because it's almost like, you know, Acumatica is part of your own solution, but it's your own solution. And you can then work with other channel partners that might come across an MRO opportunity. And those channel partners know that you have expertise there. And that's what Clients First has done, is really develop their relationships. You, Nancy, have exhibited at Acumatica Summit. And so you've built those channel partner relationships too, so that they know where to go if they do come across an MRO software type opportunity. And you have built your website, you've created the content, and you've promoted that content, and you've measured it. So you want to start with the end in mind. And Nancy, I'm not sure if you've gone through this exercise, but, you know, if you've identified how many industry clients you want, you know, in a certain time frame, and what you need to do to get those clients, and how much content you need to build for in favor of those clients and focusing on those clients. And then you know, can measure your results as you go to see if you're succeeding and what's working and what's not working. And then reiterating.
You were asking me? I'm sorry.
I wondered if you did, if you focused on how many clients you wanted in a particular industry, because I know MRO is a focus for you, but you are focusing on, you know, some secondary industries like oil and gas and field service and manufacturing.
But you're hitting on two industries that are in really bad shape right now.
Right.
Oil and gas as well as MROs. So we've kind of, you know, we're kind of going down some other avenues as well, because, you know, we had to change a lot of our marketing plan because of COVID and because of, you know, the trade shows canceling. So, no, you know, I haven't done a whole lot of MRO marketing. I mean, we're doing some stuff with Aviation Week that we're going to start it in August, because we're hoping by the end that things are picking up. So, you know, it's not totally to the wayside, but, you know, we have to be realistic. You know, what are people really thinking about right now, and how we can tap into that market. So you got to be flexible.
And just make sure you keep all this in mind too. You know, is your website modern looking? Is it optimized for mobile? Because that can help or hurt you in the search engine. So your images going along with the industry, or do you have those call to actions that you're offering up on your pages? And is it logical for the visitor to navigate the website? And you want that educational content and those tips and tools there. And then here's just a couple, you know, items about the buyer's journey. We all talk about the buyer's journey, but really, what is that? And this is just an example that you might have for your particular industry. So when somebody comes to your website, you want to have those analyst reports backing up your solution if they exist, the research reports, it's ebooks, white papers. So in the awareness stage, they're just really just learning about you. And so you want to have that type of content that compels them to read on. And then you might also create, workflows automated in the background that are serving up this type of content once somebody fills out a form and they become part of your list. You might send them these reports in the beginning stages of your relationship. But once they move forward in the consideration stage, you might send them some buyer's guides and a nurture workflow. All of that's automated with marketing automation tools. You might invite them to webinars, and then once they go through your threshold, you might now have a salesperson contacting them because they've hit all of these different steps in the process. And then the salesperson helps them with comparing different solutions, provides case studies, trials, and demos in the decision stage. But this can look different for, your particular buyer journey. This is just an example.
Well, one thing too with Acumatica is they do not provide trials. Just an FYI.
And, some other ERP systems do.
Right.
So just depends on which ones you're representing. And then here's a couple tips here. I'm going to try and speed up a little bit because we only have 10 more minutes left or so. So here's a couple different links that I wanted to leave you with. HubSpot's blog topic generator, link bait generator, and BuzzSumo. These are a couple different websites that are free that you can log into and see how you're doing. This is an example of the BuzzSumo. So I put in client's first website and I can see the links that they have coming back to them and then what their engagement is on some of those links. So I can see that this is a website that has a link back to them. So that's injecting the client's first website with search engine optimization. And this is the most authoritative that came under this search. And then so here's our website pointing back to them. So Nancy's making great use of our relationship and having a link back about Acumatica and KPIs for manufacturing. So here's just a couple examples of the type of engagement you might get with those links back. And these are all social profiles that are linking back. So this is social proof for your particular solution that you've written about. So these are, this is a press release, this is a blog, but they're all links back. So this was about the Pro NPO solution and the keyword term that we were going for with that particular solution. And those are links back. So you want to have your great offer on your landing page that the links come back to about that particular vertical solution that you're talking about, the value proposition, the images, and how you're going to solve for that, and then some social proof, maybe a testimonial on that landing page. And then elements of an ideal landing page, you want to have your headline, your image, a brief description of what they're going to get if they fill out that form. So you all came to this webinar today, so there was a brief description about the webinar, there was an image, and then there was a form for you to fill out so you could register, and thank you all for doing that. And then here's where you can promote your content, social media, those group sites, reiterating, Google Ads. I know, Nancy, you've done some of that. Sponsored posts, outbound email, if you have good lists that you've been able to develop for that target market where people have opted in or they're interested in what you're going to send them. You can connect with them in the subject of the email, and they'll open the email and they'll hopefully engage with the offer about that email. So you can also have email signatures and you do this a lot, Nancy, I love it, for your webinars and your offers. So you're backing up what you're posting on your website. If you can get the ISVs to cross-promote your content for you, that is awesome. So maybe you're giving a webinar about shipping software. So that ISV will also engage with the shipping software ISV will also engage with your content that you're holding this event for their shipping software tool. So they'll also cross-promote your content for you. And then having your event calendars on your site. So the trade shows you might be going to, the webinars you might be holding, maybe lunch and learns. That's all great ways to compel someone to engage with whatever it is, whatever events that you're participating in. And then so starting with that strategy, the strategy is understanding the target market, how your business offering is going to serve that target market, having that strong value proposition that separates you from the competition, serving that target market, and having the goal, in mind, which is that milestone that helps you understand whether or not you're succeeding or not. And then having all the communication strategy that will serve that target market, all the different mediums that you're participating in, the events, and so that's all part of the communication strategy. And then measuring is so important, and HubSpot automatically tracks those tactics that you're using in your communication strategy to see what's working and what's not working. So that's the ROI of leveraging a automation tool like HubSpot. So I just want to leave everybody with a couple items here, tools and resources that you can use. I'm going to be sending out an email follow-up after this webinar, and I will include the presentation so that you can have all of these on hand and reference them. So HubSpot, SEMrush, I highly recommend installing SEO Quake. It's a free tool. And you can check your Alexa rank with SEO Quake very easily, and the ranks of anyone that you're trying to engage, from a marketing standpoint. Do I really want to spend a lot of time putting my inbound links on a particular website, unless they meet a certain quality? So are they going to push you authority? So this is a free tool where you can kind of inspect that. It just goes right on your Chrome browser. And then Zapier helps you connect different software packages to each other through an API. So a bunch of, applications might work with HubSpot, and you might be working with multiple HubSpots. So Zapier is a great tool to use to easily integrate one database with another. And then I also wanted to leave you all with, if you are interested in adding Acumatica to your portfolio, this is your contact over at Acumatica, Mark Roodhouse. He's the inside sales account manager, and he'll help you with understanding all you need to know to get started with Acumatica. And I'll just leave you with Acumatica is the only true cloud ERP platform designed for mid-sized customers. And here's the partner recruiting email. And I would like to launch a poll real quick just to and announce any questions you might have. Just to remind you in the audience, there is a question mark button right next to your name. If you have any questions, please do click on that question mark button, and I will go ahead and announce the question and answer it. So are you interested in learning more about any of the following? Our ERP VAR location listing, HubSpot inbound marketing automation, implementation, training, campaigns that we can build for you if you already have Acumatica or not at this time. And thank you, Nancy, so much for being here with us.
You're welcome. I hope I didn't talk too much.
Oh, you were awesome. I so appreciate all of your help. I mean, you know the stuff like the back of your hand, so
well,
I appreciate it.
I love Acumatica. I hope I really do. It's fun to sell.
And then I do have a question here. Who do I contact if I want help with marketing? Well, just answer either the top poll question, ERP VAR location listing, or HubSpot inbound marketing automation, and we will contact you and help you out with that. Thank you for that question. And I see 40% of you have voted. And then I also have a question, who do I contact about Acumatica? That would be Mark Roodhouse, and I had his contact information up there, and it will come in the follow-up email as well. And you'll have that. I'll send the follow-up email later on this afternoon. And thank you, Nancy, for being such a helpful customer. I so appreciate you.
No problem. It's a topic I like to talk about. I mean, we really don't want competition for Acumatica, but it is a great product.
Well, you don't have much competition for your core competencies because you've done a great job of differentiating yourself.
That's true. Good point.
I see 60% of you voted. I'm going to leave this up here, and we have 3 minutes to spare. Look at that. Amazing.
Woohoo. And
then I have a channel partner that is saying CFBS is the best. Thank you for the information, Nancy. Somebody in the audience said that.
Wow, that's great. I really mean it too.
60% has voted still. I'm going to count to 5. I'm going to close this out and thank everyone for coming. And everyone stay safe. And hopefully we'll be over this challenging time soon. Everyone take care. Thank you so much, Nancy. And I will talk to you all soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.